Hi, I'm Shummet, and welcome to Game vs. Game. Today we're going to be covering Tomb Raider and Ocarina of Time. So the rules are that there are 5 categories between the games, and one will win over the other. The categories will be a surprise, so just watch the video. Anyway, on to the comparison. Well, before that, let's get into some backstory. So around the times of these games' releases, there weren't many 3D exploration games at all. Really, all we had were platformers. However, there was one company who decided to have a whole new IP with a very different style of gameplay. It had all the spirit of all the Dungeon Explorers beforehand, but this game was in 3D. It had the essence of a 2D Zelda game, but what we got was a very different experience that would change gaming forever. So, Tomb Raider. Well, it was released on the 25th of October 1996 on the Sega Saturn, but who gives a damn about that version because who actually bought the Sega Saturn? Anyone? Hello? No? Anyway, I'll be covering the DOS version because I think that it was the best one, and they're basically all the same, except I have the most experience using keyboards, and it has one great thing that was not in the PlayStation version. Then, just 2 years later, something amazing happened, and N64 fans across the world screamed out! A new 3D Zelda game. But by this point, Tomb Raider had already become exceptionally popular, and had made the new norm for 3D exploration games. So they had to think of something special. It took them many years to think of a gameplay formula that could work. But finally, they found something that stuck. And so Ocarina of Time was released on December 18, 1998. Wait, you thought I got the date wrong? Well, no, that was the Australian release date, so I'm gonna go off that considering I live in Australia. Also, don't stalk me because you know the country I'm in. It won't help. Anyway, I'm gonna be covering the Wii Virtual Console version because that's the one I first played and grew up with, so I have the most experience with it. And the 3DS remake kinda doesn't count because it was released much later than the original game. Anyway, on to the comparison! Number 1, story. So, Tomb Raider's story is pretty simple. You get hired by some chick to go get some stuff and then you go! But as you play the game, you find out that you're working for a quote-unquote crazy evil maniac. And then you go on and get some more stuff, and then you win. Riveting, I know. So it's a pretty basic game story-wise, but it does keep you going during those boring parts. Kinda like a carrot on a stick. But the whole game you're getting chocolate, because the gameplay is much better than the story. But that gameplay is pretty good, and that carrot is pretty okay, I guess. So the story being simple is alright, I guess. Still not that good though. Now, Ocarina of Time story. And oh my god, what is this story? It's pretty damn good if I don't say so myself. So first, you find some tree talking Shakespearean, or like... but you can't understand it, so then some fairy comes out and goes to some green kid called Minecraft Kid 96.3, or whatever you named your save file. I don't know, but anyway. So then you go inside the tree, you get a rock, and then you kill the tree. That thing happens. Then you go to Zelda and she's like, hey, you gotta go talk to Impa or something. And then you go get some more rocks, and then you go 7 years into the future, and then you gotta steal some medals from the sages or something. I guess Link wasn't satisfied with his participation medal. And then you go to Ganondorf with some sages, you cross the Rainbow Bridge. They stole this from Mario Kart. And then you kill Ganondorf, and then you go back to the past for some reason. I don't know why you do that, but you do, and it's apparently emotional even though it makes no sense at all! So, obviously Ocarina of Time wins this round because it's actually interesting and keeps you engaged. Zelda 1, Tomb Raider 0. Number 2, fighting! So, Tomb Raider's fighting style is pretty awesome, because you get to shoot stuff. One thing I did find really, really good about Tomb Raider's combat is the sense of mobility you get when you have your guns out. Because your speed slows down by like literally nothing. And the only thing that does change is you can't grab stuff. So it makes sense. And it still allows you to be all flippy floppy old Sonic Hedgehog all over the place and still shoot more accurately than Max Payne on steroids. So you do eventually get things like shotguns and magnums and live grenades in an ancient temple. Shotguns, magnums, and live grenades in an ancient temple. Does anyone question this? No! So yeah, Tomb Raider's combat is pretty damn sweet, as you do also lock onto things. So you're not shooting absolutely nothing while a goddamn bear mauls Lara's face off. Now onto Ocarina of Time. And yeah, its fighting style is great, as it allows you to smack things with a sword spin and jump, and it is fantastic. What it does, unlike Tomb Raider though, is it slows down the game, making it mimic real-life sword fighting, which is pretty cool. The variety of moves in Ocarina of Time is pretty damn awesome, as it allows you to jump over gaps with the jump slash, or you can do a side jump, which allows you to troll enemies. Hit me! Hit me! Hit me! Ah! Can't hit me! Sorry. You also have a back jump, which is great for mini-bosses and bosses, allowing you to jump away from big, heavy, devastating attacks. This changes combat and makes it much more fun than A Link to the Past and previous Zelda games, as it makes Ocarina's combat feel complete. So which one wins? Well, it's a pretty damn hard decision in this case, but while Ocarina did make it complex, Tomb Raider's flows so well and makes it feel much more like the rest of the game than Ocarina's, allowing for complete mobility over the battlefield, so I'm gonna have to give this one to Tomb Raider. Zelda 1, Tomb Raider 1. Number 3! Bosses! Oh dear god. Tomb Raider's bosses are just bad. Okay, so at least they have cool introductions, such as the T-Rex, where it begins with you seeing a skeleton, and since you're probably 4, you go, ah! Next you fall down like a meter or something, and then you see it. A very weak enemy. That's a tiny dinosaur. Rawr. And then you kill it with Lara's barrel rolls. Then, out of nowhere, another weak enemy. Oh my god! Then, all around you, you see these holes in the walls, hinting that you can duck into them and find stuff. After exploring them, you go forwards. Then, out of the darkness, you see it. Oh my god. It's a T-Rex! Run away, run away, run away, oh my god! Okay, so then you shoot it, and you'll probably end up getting hit, perhaps even having to use a med pack or even load a previous save. Here's the great thing about the DOS version that I mentioned previously. It allows for trial and error like this, as you can save at any time, and have unlimited saves, unlike the PS1 version. Then, when you're healing or doing whatever, you have a flashback. And then you see these holes in the walls. Holes in the walls. And then you see these holes in the walls. So you jump in one, and then you shoot the T-Rex. Over and over. That's it. Hide and shoot. Great design. Okay, so the bosses in that game had one thing Ocarina didn't have, and that was really good build-up. It actually made you feel scared when you saw it, and made you explore the surroundings before the fight. But Ocarina had one thing about the bosses that Tomb Raider didn't have. Can you guess what that is? Well, I'll tell you. It's fun! Yeah, that's right. Ocarina's bosses are fun. They make you use the item that you got in that dungeon, while avoiding difficult attacks that you might have never even seen before, or might not even see again. But it makes you learn how to avoid it. Take one of my favorite bosses from the game, King Dodongo, who rolls around like Sonic the Hedgehog. You might even get hit by it. But while you're locked on, and as Link gets up, you'll see a gap next to him in the wall, or the magma pit. So you go close to either of them, and next time he rolls, and look at that, it didn't hit you. The fight has taught you a mechanic of the boss by simply fighting it. Then later on, you see him sucking in air. Throw that damn bomb in there! Also, there are bomb flowers around the arena, hinting that you might have to use them in some way. So you throw a bomb at it while it's sucking in air, and then you slash it. Or jump attack it, if you're a classy fellow. See, while I do respect Tomb Raider by making the player use their surroundings and use them to their advantage, but Ocarina of Time's are really damn good and require other strategies than going into a tunnel and pressing the shoot button until your thumb bleeds. Ocarina of Time wins this one. Zelda 2, Tomb Raider 1. Number 4, general gameplay. So I describe general gameplay as basically when you're not in a fight and you're walking around, whether it be in a field or in a dungeon. So fighting gameplay has nothing to do with this. Let's just start with Tomb Raiders by saying it is simply amazing. Let's just get that out of the way first. The only fault I can think of is when you start playing, it feels terrible. It seems to have janky movements and you'll probably get annoyed. You're on a weird grid system and you don't move quite right. But if you learn the controls, whether you're just playing the game or you go to Laura's house, it teaches you everything that you need to know. And they become amazing. You have full, realistic movements that are slow at first, but fast when used effectively. You feel like a real person running around and jumping. The jumping is also simply amazing, as it brings a fantastic feeling of freedom into the mix that makes you allowed to jump in any way you want, sideways, forwards, backwards, any way you want, you name it, you can jump it. Similar, once again, to Sonic the Hedgehog. So basically, the controls and gameplay are amazing. They're smooth and fast-flowing while still retaining a feeling of realism. Also, Lara is a parkour god. Now Ocarina took that feeling of realism and amplified it for the whole game. Let me just get this straight. I hate this goddamn gameplay! The whole thing feels sluggish and unnaturally realistic to a point where you just feel like Link is taking a stroll while Redeads are humping him to death. My whole point is, this feels like an ordeal, to the point where running in the fields is not fun at all. Running in the dungeon, not fun at all. It's just not fun! Just look at how much time it takes for me to run from one side of Hyrule Field to the other. You see, just then, I showed you how much of a terrible thing this is. Link is a legendary hero, not some fitness freak who was going for a morning jog. And then, if you want to get there faster, there's a horse. Oh wait, it's not much better. It has the most janky controls I can think of, and they tried to fix this by making you invincible while riding it. That's not a good solution, considering it probably takes twice the time to get to where you want to go, because you're crashing into walls all the time. And then, the controls are just tedious. Like, I mean, in a dungeon, I should have control over fighting enemies, over the whole battlefield. That's really good. But to have those controls when you're walking in the field, that's just dumb. Also, for all the people saying that you just have to walk backwards to increase your speed, well, a secret should not be the only way to make an actual necessary part of the game bearable. How could they stuff this up? They didn't. Because they added songs. But you only get them later in the game, so at the start of the game, you're just running around getting bored while you're hoping for the next fight section to begin. So, obviously, you can see which one I prefer, and that's Tomb Raiders, because it's actually good. So, Zelda 2, Tomb Raider 2. Number 5. Atmosphere. The atmosphere consists of various components, including the stratosphere. I don't know the rest, but we aren't talking about stuff like that. No, we are talking about the feeling of these games and what they make the player feel. Whether it be fear, suspense, or making you feel damn awesome. So, in Tomb Raider, the atmosphere is very suspenseful, with elements of horror mixed in, like how in Section 3, I brought up the feeling that you get before fighting the T-Rex boss. This game also has an amazing soundtrack, but most of the game you'll be hearing this. Pitta patta, pitta patta, pitta patta, pitta patta, pitta patta. Oops. Anyway, this makes the player feel alone, almost as if you're being watched. However, when the music does come in, it is terrifying. I'll bring up an example here. During the first level of the game, you were tasked with raiding a tomb. Did you see what I did there? And you see a ditch. And because you suck at the game, like I do, you fail at jumping over it. And then you hear something. Oh my god. Actual music? However, I am gonna break my rule of sticking to one version of the game. Jesus Christ, first episode and I'm already breaking rules. Because the PC version did not have combat music. So the PS1 version does kinda come into play here. Anyway, the music instantly strikes fear into the player, as they see, oh my god, could it be Smokey the goddamn bear? He knows you've started fires, and he's out to get you for it. Oh wait, he's just a bear? Well, never mind then. But it is scary. He doesn't die quickly like the bats or wolves you fought before. He's legitimately terrifying. And who knows? You might even die if you suck. But this game keeps you on edge like that. And when the music kicks in, it starts to get real. If a game can do that with barely any music, that means the atmosphere is fantastic. Ocarina of Time has a different kind of atmosphere that once again plays in with the music, making you feel either isolated or scared, or like you're a goddamn hero riding through the field at the speed of slightly faster than a normal person could power walk. But you get the point. The music conveyed here shows a variety of moves, which is actually pretty innovative for the time. Like listen to Mario 64. I'm on a battlefield full of bombs. Happy music! I'm in a castle that's been taken over. Happy music! I'm freezing to death on a sub-zero mountain. Happy music! I'm in hell itself. Happy music. So, Ocarina of Time is pretty cool in that regard. However, along with this music, it also shows a variety of wall textures. Yay! Like, look at this one right here. Jeez, I didn't know you could make skulls so flat. Like, I mean, I guess it can bring a variety of moods into it, but with just that and mixed with the gameplay, let's just say you feel the same way in the Great Deku Tree as you do in the Shadow Temple. As you can see, the winner of the final point is Tomb Raider, making it Zelda Ocarina of Time on 2 and Tomb Raider on 3. Conclusions. You see, while Ocarina of Time definitely holds up today, and I still think that it is an amazing game that you should all check out, but if you're comparing them on different levels with different points that are completely different, you will see that Tomb Raider by far exceeds Ocarina of Time. And that just made me have to give it to Tomb Raider. But hey, now that you've listened to my stupid opinion, I'd like to see yours. So please comment down below your opinion on which game won this for you. And if you haven't, how about checking out Tomb Raider or Ocarina of Time? They're great games and I would highly recommend them to you. Anyway, feel free to leave a like and I'd appreciate it if you subscribed. Thank you so much for watching.